All right, welcome to another episode of the Freezin NFC North Podcast, episode 73, NFC North Week 16 review and Week 17 preview. Lions clinch division crowns. We have to have a coronation. It's coming up. Congratulations. Also, congratulations on the Packers beating the Putrid Panthers.
Barely.
And my Bears beating the Clueless Cardinals. And the Vikings for doing absolutely nothing. But welcome to episode 73. Thanks again for joining us. Craig, where can everyone find you? It's been a little bit here. So where can everyone find you as we get started?
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm glad to be back. You can find me on Twitter X at GA_Skol or at dailynorseman.com.
Very good. And welcome back to Seventh Letter. Where can everyone find you as we get started?
You can find me at Seventh Letter 4 on X Twitter, same OG on Instagram and Facebook, and the new NFC North divisional champions.
First time ever.
Yeah.
It's all right. Feels good. I screamed so loud the dogs started bugging out. Hey, I was gonna kick you if you lost. So.
Almost happy.
I know you're scared, but you should be happy, bro.
Well, I'm happy for your dog, number one, but I am also happy for the Lions. And let's kind of get into that first. But I'm going to go ahead and give Craig the first shot of what happened in that game. So tell us a little bit about what happened and how did the Vikings let a big cat escape on deck? 30-24 loss to the Lions.
Yeah, I know it's definitely disappointing. They gave up kind of their control over their destiny for everything, the division, the playoff spot, the wild card spot, everything. So I guess they've already kind of gave up the division before that. But it's Nick Mullins is what he is. I mean, he's a turnover machine. He's not afraid to sling it, that's for sure. But he just throws it's weird. He's like Brett Favre if he threw a duck like every 3 passes.
Right.
It's like he's good, and then he just throws like the worst pass you've seen all day.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I laughed out loud when he threw that one over the middle. I just that was I had to. It just really...
doesn't. He does stupid crap all the time. Like when he's going down to the ground, he'll throw the ball like 2 feet in the air and hope the defensive lineman doesn't pick it off. Like it's like he just doesn't care. Like he's just like, no, I refuse to take a sack. I'm just gonna throw the ball up in the air and see what happens. And
didn't he break all of Brett Favre's records in college?
Yeah,
he did. He came from the same school as Brett Favre.
I mean, he plays that same way, except he doesn't have nearly the arm talent. Yeah, it's so bad to watch him play. I'm really hoping he's on the bench, and if he's not, then Kevin O'Connell needs to rethink what the hell he's doing, because it's time to put the rookie back in, Jaron Hall, and just see what he can do for 2 games. See if he can be the guy. He's probably not going to be, but you never know. Just see what he can do.
Yeah, you really kind of need to, see what you have in a rookie. I mean, it's that time of the season. I mean, obviously you want to be thinking playoffs, but really, I mean, you also have to be thinking future. And, right now, options with, Kirk Cousins and different, options that you could go. But yeah, you definitely need to see what you have with the rookie. I mean, so it'll be interesting, what happens in the last 2 games. But one thing that we don't have to wonder about is the Lions taking the division. So tell us a little bit about what happened from your perspective, Seventh Letter, and what the Lions did right.
All right, so first I want to start with, Jared Goff is off of punishment. Okay. I'm sorry for all the things I said 2 weeks ago. He's first in passing first down, second in completions, third in passing yards. Like, he's been playing good. He just had a lull. So I apologize. I love you, Jahmyr Gibbs. He broke 21 Evans' ankle so bad they had to drug test him. They did. They literally drug tested Jahmyr Gibbs after the game. It's crazy. Amon-Ra played his ass off. Laporta. Now, this is why I like him better than Hockenson. Do you know why he didn't have a lot of passes last week? Because he was one-on-one on Danielle Hunter. And did you hear his name at all last week? Not at all. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. You blitz all you want. We'll just throw it to the outside. Ben Johnson was perfect until the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, I want to punch Ben Johnson in the face. Punch him right in his face. Like, yo. Delay of games. Passing in the 4 minutes. Like, Montgomery picks up 3 on the first carry. Give him the ball. They couldn't stop us. What are you doing? We
made no sense.
What Mr. $15 man?
15 minutes. No, that was a lie. Somebody made that up. I think that was somebody trying to deter owners for trying to get him or whatever. That was
right.
A lie. He said that wasn't true. His agent said that wasn't true. That is not, what we're offering. But overall, honestly, I know everybody goes crazy. Like, Mullen had 411 on y'all. Bro, let me tell you something. One thing the Vikings do have is weapons. You know what I mean? And they got the best wide receiver on earth. I like Jamar Chase better than JJ. JJ is the fucking truth. Yo, it ain't nobody better out there. And it ain't too much. It ain't like we didn't double cover them. No. Ain't like we didn't bracket them. We just couldn't do nothing with him, period. And I don't think anybody could. One-on-one, double. He's the true number one receiver. So I don't care. I love the way we pressured the quarterbacks. I like the blitzes we did. I love it. I hope we do that this week against Dak and them, because I like how the blitzes come. You for some reason, nobody sees Iffy. And Iffy Melifonwu, it felt like we just, signed a new player. Like, he's playing his ass off. Like, I'm after what I just saw happen to the 49ers the other day. Yo, if they come to Detroit with our O-line, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm beside myself. I'm probably beside myself. But we could beat anybody. If we play like we play, we could beat anybody. That's facts. And I ain't saying that the Vikings is all that. I'm just saying the Vikings have a pretty good organization. They're pretty tough at home. With all of the injuries they had, they still were in the game because they got that 18, and they got a pretty good defense before we started carving that up. You know what I mean? But yo, man, we just the kings of the North. I don't know. Ain't nobody in that division really fucking with us, man. We gonna beat their ass again in 2 weeks. So, well,
the defense has played well against some average to below average teams, and they've given up some points here in the last few weeks, and so it's starting to, that steam where it was four weeks ago, where it felt like Brian Flores is gonna be gone, some head coaching somewhere. I don't know if that's going to be true, and I think you're starting to that shine starting to wear off a little bit the last couple of weeks.
I felt that way too.
And
us all game. Jesus Christ.
I mean, we're going to see what's going to happen this week with Green Bay, but when the Lions come back in, if they put up 30 again, you're like, well, you start to question, like, not that he's obviously going to be back, but I don't think he's going to necessarily be like the top head coach candidate anymore.
See, it's so interesting. Obviously, NFL is week to week, right? And you look at Brian Flores, and the things that he's been doing. He's been doing some different things defensively, right? And but and then I think as a fan, you say, okay, well, maybe our team is better than they are. The Vikings are what they are. There's a lot of deficiencies on the defense, and obviously you have a great coordinator like Brian Flores. He's kind of covered that up a lot. So I don't know. I mean, I think if some of these GMs are smart, they're going to look at that. They're going to look at, not just the wins and losses, right? They want to look at, what a coach has done, like commanding a team, being able to control different offenses, doing different things. And I think, GMs are looking for that. And I think Flores will get a shot. I just hope it's not with the Bears. Number one, I love Flores, but the Bears definitely need an offensive head coach, and who knows?
I think everybody wants an offensive. That's the running theme now. Like, nobody really wants defensive coaches. They want offensive coaches. Everybody does.
Well, I think unless you have a vet quarterback, that's really what you need. Like, if you have a vet quarterback that's that doesn't really need somebody to teach them, it might be okay to go defensive. But when you're the Bears, you either need somebody to develop Fields or whoever you draft, whatever way you go. And so you need kind of that offensive guy to help because you really, or it's just a really strong offensive coordinator. But then it's hard to keep them around if they're not the head coach, and so you really need to make them the head coach.
True indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when the Bears hired Luke Getsy, that was the thought of, what if the Bears do good? What if Getsy does good? And then, someone will hire him away to be head coach. Well, that ain't happening.
No worries about that.
No worries about that. But once again, the Bears did race out to a big lead and held on against the Clueless Cardinals team. And surprisingly enough, I didn't have this on my 2023 bingo card, but I was going back and forth with some Cardinal fans about the Kyler Murray versus Justin Fields debate. And it was quite interesting, and obviously, Kyler Murray has proven a lot in the past, right? But I don't know, how much of that game you watched, but he could not see over the line. He was getting sacked, and so obviously, and you guys know me, I trumpet Justin Fields from here to Kingdom Come.
Trumpet is an understatement, but go ahead.
All right, yeah. But I mean, that's what they're doing with Kyler, and I get it. I respect it. You stick with your guy, and that's kind of what I've done with Fields. But Kyler, like, he was doing some good things toward the end of the game, but I really think that is more on the coaching staff. This coaching staff just seems to take the foot off the gas. And offensively, it starts with Luke Getsy, some of the plays that he's calling, and it just doesn't seem like Justin Fields is comfortable in that system.
Is that why he threw that interception at the end?
Yes, that was a bad interception. That was a bad interception. That was, I think, him getting a little bit too comfortable. He had that run where he kind of looked back and he was getting a little bit cocky, and so that was on him. That was a bad one. Yes, but I think part of it is you just have to get him in a good game flow. And that's part of, being on the same page, the offensive coordinator. And you talk about Ben Johnson as well, right? Getting, too cute or whatever.
Super cute. Can't stand it. I hate that shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You want to have coaches that are going to use the gifts that you have, all of the talent you have, and not try to change them. And that's what Getsy has done this year. He's tried to change Justin Fields. And so, when you look at this game, it's really the helmet stickers, Montez Sweat, that defense, really came to play. And, I feel like, getting off to a quick start helped. We beat a team we were supposed to beat. I mean, that's hands down. So we needed to do that. So I don't know what you guys saw from that game other than the Bears coming for the NFC North next year.
I don't know, man. It's like it's like, if that quarterback, like, I don't know, something happens around like the end of the third quarter where it's like there's such a drop off. Like, I mean, he'll get his run sometimes, but it's just something in him that I just think, like, I think he knows, like, I fucked up right here before. I'm gonna be safe too. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to avoid screwing up, I'll try to make a big play, and they can say at least I tried or whatever. It's like he just doesn't have that I don't even think it's within yourself. If you're a real quarterback, like Matthew Stafford, for example, like, I don't care what nobody say. The coach, whoever was the coach, when it was fourth quarter, that's when my boy would start playing his playground ball. He'll throw some interceptions, but he's trying. He's totally in full confidence of his abilities. And I think around the fourth quarter, that's when he starts he becomes Mariota. You know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden, like, yeah, he got the physical gifts and everything, but then he gets Mariotas, and I think we've seen enough. I think you have too.
No, not yet. Well, here's the thing too. He did and has had a brace on his thumb, just to let you know. And obviously that's no excuse.
He had a brace on his thumb for 4 weeks.
Right. So he has, been playing with that. Yeah, I agree. I think I have, come to terms a little bit more with it, that if obviously I am all for Fields going forward. I've seen enough that I think he can do a lot of positive things, and he's talented. If they move on from him, I would understand, and I'm gonna obviously support my team either way. But it would suck to see another offensive coordinator just unlock all of his potential and really trust him, right? And I think that's that's what I'm worried about, right? But the worst thing that they could do is just keep him and not get anything for him. Like if they don't try to get him on an extended deal or something, almost like what they did with Jordan Love, right? Kind of a deal just to kind of extend him another year or so and just see if he can continue to build on his potential. So I'm still on the train. I'm still on the train.
I see, man. Run that motherfucker off a cliff too.
A train that just goes around in circles. It's like he plays a few good games and then he's back to sucking again.
Hey, yeah, I get that. Yeah. Well, hey, here's the thing though. You look at 3 of those games that the Bears could have won. We'd be at 9-6, and we'd be in the playoffs firmly. So I'm just saying,
they could have won games.
I said, I think I said what I say, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10, 9 wins, and everyone laughed. I think Craig, you laughed too. You said,
I did.
Yeah.
I thought they'd have the worst record in the league again. So yeah,
already doubled our win total, and this is with Fields gone 4.5 weeks. So there's potential there. It really helps with the defense as well. So I'm excited for what can come. Obviously, there's a lot of changes, and we'll talk about some of those New Year's resolutions for each team coming up as well. Let's go ahead and I thought we are going to have a new Packer representative coming, but not quite yet. So let's just kind of talk a little bit about the Packer game. So 7th letter. Did you get a chance to watch the Packers in Week 16 against those putrid Panthers?
Yes, I did, because you said I didn't see games. So yes, I watched the game. I watched it today. It was actually kind of exciting. I'm gonna be honest. Who is 11 on the Panthers? Ever since, I forget who that is. Whoever 11 is on the Panthers, I know DJ Chark kind of played good. Still can't get 100 yards to save his life, but
yeah.
Whoever 11 is, I like him. He kind of gave him some type of speed. Like, he's fast as hell, and he give him a little bit of boost on offense for the Panthers. The Packers have trouble in the secondary. I mean, that's kind of I mean, it is what it is. That's their problem. So the Panthers took full advantage of that. The Packers have like a Buffalo Bills problem where they play down the competition a lot. So they go out and beat the Chiefs. They go out, beat the shit out of us, and then go play the Giants and lay an egg. You know what I mean? Like, the Giants made that close by fumbling at the end. You know what I mean? But like, that's what they do. And they went out there and played with the Panthers, and look, they did a game of it. The
only week I was actually cheering for the Packers, and they almost screwed it up. I was getting pissed. So I think all of us are aware of who number 11 is. Good old Amir Smith Marset, former Iowa wide receiver.
With the Vikings and went to the Bears, and he went all over the place.
Well, yeah, and he was a cause for a Justin Fields loss last year against the Vikings when he pretty much handed the ball to the defender.
So I forgot about that.
I do love Amir Smith. Yeah,
ISM was a fan favorite for a little bit. Like, there was a lot of guys thought he was going to be good.
I like him. I think that's a great story, and I hope he does catch on with the Panthers or another team. I
like Valdor. I know you didn't like him. I like him.
Valdor?
Yeah, I like him.
You'll like him for a couple games. That's about it.
Right. We blitz him. We use him for blitz. We keep it. He got a little speed, so we didn't have a lot of speed on the outside. So
I see that.
He's serving us well.
So yeah, the Packers did win, did help the Bears to continue to solidify that number 1 pick, and I believe this week the Bears can clinch that if the Panthers lose to the Jaguars, the Bears clinch that number 1 pick. So here's to hoping on that. As we're kind of talking, Craig, obviously you have an adoring fan here, Killa.
Yes.
Excited for you to be back.
So that's when I cut off. I was trying to respond, but apparently I can't chat and be on here at the same time.
You can't do both.
Yeah, I'm not on my phone, I guess.
It's like the Vikings can't do both offense and defense. That's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. We cannot. We cannot at all.
Brent C. also says, "What's good, guys? Glad to catch a show." Bears media also. Hey, we got some Bears fans. And interesting enough, we're talking about the Justin Fields stuff. And I don't know if you saw on Twitter X, it's always interesting the things that kind of blow up, right? I did the little thing about Justin Fields not being able to throw. I think that's up to like 93,000 views on that. How about that? So divisive, but really it's bringing out, and I didn't even know, it's bringing out the Bears fans who are pro Fields and the ones who are anti Fields. But I digress on that.
I mean, if that's what you like, you know what I mean? Like, I like Lamar Jackson is probably going to be the MVP this year. I hate the way he played quarterback because I just feel like it's just a whole bunch of he fucks up, and then his athletic ability, he'll make an amazing play. And that happens all the time against, it happened against the 49ers a few times, and when the playoffs come, then you see what happens.
Although it helps to have a dominant defense, right? I think.
But the Ravens always had a good defense. Always.
Yeah.
Always. Like,
it does seem like they can never not have a good defense.
Like never. Like now it's back to elite again, but they've always had a pretty good defense. They just super stout this year. And they went out there and convincingly kicked the 49ers ass. Like convincingly.
That could be another preview of the Super Bowl.
Nah, that's gonna be us in there. The Ravens not going to the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, watch. You'll see. What's Lamar Jackson's record in the playoffs?
He has 1 win. I know that he's like 1-3 or something like that.
Right.
What's the Lions' record in the playoffs?
Oh man, here you go.
What's the last time they were? I can't remember. It's been so long.
Now you said a whole team. What's Jared Goff's record in the playoffs?
He did.
How crazy would that be? I messaged you. How crazy would that be in the first round if Stafford and the Rams visited the Lions?
I'll probably it'll be very, very tough to watch. Very tough to watch. I would be.
You want what?
I want the Seahawks. I hate them.
Oh yeah, I would say I would be.
We lost both games. Both games we lost.
I would be worried, to face the Rams in the playoffs.
Man, you see how my son is out there looking?
He is. Well, and Puka Nacua. Oh my gosh.
I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about him. I'm not worried about him. Not really. What I worry about is like fast, big receivers. You know what I'm saying? Like receivers like that, they'll scheme them open, but I think we can stick with them. I think defensively they can't really stick with us. You know what I'm saying? Offensively.
I don't know. Like
offense.
You know how
Goff shows up.
Huh?
Yeah.
Depends on which Goff shows up. Like whether he's
Goff is all right, man. Goff is all right.
Sometimes,
it's gonna be indoors. It's gonna be indoors.
Yeah.
It's gonna be indoors either way. So if we're indoors, I'm good. Outside, and the way that the Bears caught us slipping on that slippery, muggy, whatever kind of day that was.
He has to go to Philly.
Oh, come on. We beat you on the we should have beat you in Detroit too. So
but you didn't.
There's a lot of shoulda wins for the Bears over the last
right, but you didn't. You lost the way you.
They should have won 30 games.
Lost a lot of games. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah, I agree. All right. So Bears media says, ask the Vikes guy, who would he trade Jay for first? No.
For first rounder? Like 4 first rounders, maybe.
I need like
he's the most valuable non-quarterback in the league right now.
Him and Tyreek.
What if he doesn't want to sign with the Vikings?
There's no signs of that at all. I mean, there's no signs of that at all. He's such a team guy. He's been so positive. He never says a bad thing about the organization. He shows up every day. Every week he was injured, he was on the sidelines cheering on his teammates. Yeah, he's super supportive. Unless he's just playing that up and he really's in the background going, I want to get the hell out of here. I don't know what's going on at quarterback. And I think they're going to ask him at the end of the year, do you want Kirk Cousins back? Then we'll bring him back. If you don't, then we'll have Jaron Hall or we'll have a rookie in there, or whoever it is. I think he really gets to make that decision at the end of the year.
They should. That's the smart thing to do. You want to do that. And as far as Kirk Cousins, they need to have him back, right? That's
the route. I think if you had a healthy Kirk Cousins this year, you would be talking about a 12-win team that's really looking good heading into the playoffs. I think I said at the beginning of the year, if Kirk Cousins has that top 10 defense, like, we're contenders. And so it's probably not a top 10 defense. It's right around that top 10-ish. Depends on which stats you look at. But, they're good enough to win. And if they had a healthy complementary offense, they'd be even better. And, I think you have to make that run with Kirk Cousins, especially if you can get Flores back. Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, and you try to convince Danielle Hunter to come back as well, and you make a go at it.
So I think Justin Jefferson, here bears me that says he needs a good QB. I think Justin Jefferson actually is one of the few receivers that is quarterback proof. And although he is quarterback proof, but it helps that you don't have just, a journeyman guy throw one up in the middle of the field. That's just, you can't have. But this would be interesting. The quarterback carousel, I feel like in the off season.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
It is. And Kirk going to Atlanta, I don't know about that.
I could see him going to Atlanta. I could see him going to Vegas. I could see him. There's a few spots, so that kind of makes sense.
I think he's
going
pretty
back
loyal.
to Minnesota makes the most sense. He wants to come back. It seems like he wants to come back as well.
I like that the quarterback show and how he has the home built. Did you see that seventh letter?
Yeah.
How Cousins had that home built, and he had a builder build a little extra nook in there for the Lombardi.
He's not getting that. I saw the shit. I was like, he really think he's gonna win over there.
There's a chance he comes back in the playoffs. Let's do this. Let's sneak in and.
With that Aaron Rodgers,
I can't even say that with a straight face, but
Well, let's go ahead and move on to week 17. So this really is an elimination game. So what's the path to the Vikings dashing the Packers playoff hopes in week 17?
No turnovers. They have 4 interceptions against the Lions. If they have 3, they win that game. It's just like you're killing yourselves with these turnovers. I'm hoping to death that they play Jaren Hall because he looked really good opening up against Atlanta, and then he got knocked out right away trying to run into the end zone. He looked decent. It's a very short sample, right? You really don't know, but he can't be any worse than what they've had the last 3-4 weeks at quarterback. It's almost impossible. So I think just limiting the turnovers, they are a better team overall. It's just the injuries.
They're better than the Packers overall?
Yeah, I think they are. The injuries are just killing them right now. They can't. Obviously, Jefferson's been out half the year, and then you lose Hawkinson last week, and then you lose DJ Wanham, your second best pass rusher. And it's just the injuries keep on stacking up. So they might. It really depends on how the quarterback plays. It looks like they're going to put Hall in, and if he has a decent game, we just need 250 yards and a couple of touchdowns and no interceptions, and you're good. But he doesn't have to kill it.
I was surprised, and maybe I'm still at 7 letters is going to sound weird. Maybe I'm still on the Packer train a little bit. That they're better. They
look so bad the last 3 weeks,
right? But I was told that they had a top 5 defense, that they were playoff bound, that they were rolling before the Giants lost. And now it's like I hear online, oh, no, our defense is horrible. It's this, it's that. Yeah. And it's just, no, I thought you were good. You got all these first rounders. And now you see and I don't know if this maybe is because it's home, but the Vikings are 2-point favorites.
Yeah, no, I think that. I guess your standard is a 3-point, favorite at home. So I guess that means they're slightly better. The Packers are 1 point, better than the Vikings if you think about it that way. But I don't know. It's on the road, so never mind. So what am I thinking, right?
No, the Vikings have it at home.
Yeah, that's at home. So it's 1 point difference. They're basically equal teams at that point in Vegas's eyes. But that's what the Vikings on their 4th quarterback of the year and just instability at the quarterback position, and they still have Jordan Love, their starting quarterback. So that doesn't explain the difference in the level of the two teams. It's incredible how many the injury list on the Vikings, and Jair Alexander is going to be out, so that I don't know if that really hurts the Packers too much because he's been out a lot and he's been not playing the best in the world.
How did he get suspended?
Yeah, he's he apparently made himself a captain and then almost screwed it up. If the referee didn't save him for screwing it up, I
Yeah,
wish the
he
referee
said.
kind of would have let him screw it up and then just been like really been imploded.
Yeah, there's you're supposed to say defer to the second half, but he said I think that they would be on.
He said
defense.
we'll kick. Yeah, he said we'll kick, which means you're choosing to kick, which means the Carolina Panthers should have been able to choose in the second half, and they would obviously choose to receive again. And so he said but the referee saved him. It's like, oh, you want to defer.
Once again, the referees saved the Packers.
That's what they did against the Chiefs. They've they're really good about that.
Really good about that.
I tell you, if I'm a betting man, I looked at this over under. It's 46.5. I mean, with the way the Vikings are playing on defense and with what the Packers are missing, I don't know if if they're, I think that's going to be a low scoring game. I don't know about you guys. I do think that the Packers win this game, but I think it's going to be like maybe 20-13 game or something like that. So.
I think it's be like an Aaron Jones game, like they're gonna do a lot of, because the Vikings seemed a little vulnerable at the perimeter. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
I mean, the
blitzes from inside, and they had like a play that they kept doing where even if the Vikings blitz, they would run like a running back or like loop him around, and he'll be just right down the side wide open. We were doing it all game. I noticed. Mm-hmm.
And, the personnel for the Vikings defense is not great. Like the Flores is working magic with he's making chicken salad out of chicken shit. But yeah, he's he's scheming away. But it's like the talent that is so bad sometimes. You see them make mistakes, and you're like, how are you that bad? The tackling can be terrible. I mean, if they finally benched Evans this week, I mean, he's just. There's not a good. I mean, you obviously have Harrison Smith, who's a borderline Hall of Famer, but it's really struggling to look at the talent. You have Danielle Hunter that was close to the lead in sacks in the NFL, but it's like there are a few good players and a bunch of crap around it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really like their draft. There's no reason they can't draft a cornerback. It seems like to save their lives. Well, a lot of our fans get behind these young guys and they pump them up, and I'm like. I don't know. He's like the 60th ranked cornerback in the league, and he's our number one. Or whatever.
Well, it hurts you don't have all the draft picks. I mean, you traded them all to the Lions, right?
and we pick up a Laporta with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take Hawkinson all day over Laporta.
Okay,
but I mean, take him now with his knee gone, but
yeah.
Oh, and y'all paid him.
Yeah,
he's gonna come back. He'll come back.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, you never know. Like those things that they could go either way. They could come back and be nothing, or it could come back and he's never the same.
Well, now let's shifting to the Lions. What is the Week 17 path to asserting dominance versus a tough Cowboys team on Saturday night?
All right, so I know everybody thinks they're gonna kill us. Hankins had a high ankle sprain. He was out, or he might be. He might play this week. Tyron Smith might play this week, but we don't know. So they've been using like Mozzie in the middle from Michigan. He was 330 when he came in. He's below 300 pounds now. If we don't run this ball, if we don't run this fucking ball, I would be so pissed. And if they bring those little corner blitzes like they did against Miami on us, we're going to kill them. I'm telling you. Now, their offense is good, okay? Defensively, I ain't too much worried. They had 4 sacks the last 4 weeks. Like, they're not really, like, it's number 11, and then the next is, I think Lawrence has, like, 4 sacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're disruptive, definitely. They very, very, they love the jump routes. But if Gardner Johnson play and the way Melifonwu's playing, we'll have better coverage on the outside and play the pass a little better. They're not running the ball. This ain't the Dallas of old, so they ain't running the ball like they used to. Dak been getting sacked. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, like, I don't know. I know everybody's saying they're going to kill us. They're saying this is a get-back game for the Cowboys. I mean, everybody. I watch ESPN all day. They think they're going to kill us. I personally think we're going to take that personally, and we're going to go out there and beat them like we did the Packers last year at the end of the year. Because we're not the type of people that you could just do that. Like, they're a finesse team. You know, like we'll bludgeon them. If we bludgeon the Cowboys, we can win. We'll bludgeon them with our O-line. Everybody, all 5 starters up front, we'll bludgeon the Cowboys. I don't know what everybody else is saying. I don't know if they probably ain't watching our games, and Jared Goff got this cloud over him. You know what I mean? Because our quarterback, they think we're a finesse team. Let's bludgeon these clowns.
I was surprised that that the Cowboys are 6-point favorites. I mean, that just
they ain't play nobody at home.
Yeah,
they ain't play nobody at home. They played the Seahawks. Almost got out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The Seahawks almost beat them. We're gonna bludgeon them. We're gonna run the ball. We ain't gonna stop. We're gonna run the ball 35 times, and we're gonna win. Period. That's it. I don't got nothing else to say.
So if you're in fantasy championship, start all your Lions running backs.
Start Jahmyr Gibbs. He's gonna
start him. Start Jahmyr Gibbs. Start David Montgomery. He's gonna have 3 touchdowns.
So Bears Media has a question here. Better defense, the Lions or the Cowboys? Great question.
Well, our defense is playing better. All right, so we got this. The way we're becoming aggressive. Let's be aggressive. Let's stay aggressive. We've been blitzing a lot. Fine. And we've been giving up yards, of course. Last week we gave up yards to Justin Jefferson in the they had a few chunk plays on us, but we give you the chunk plays for the sacks and the turnovers. That's it. I'll take 4 turnovers. That shit's not. They don't have Justin Jefferson on the Cowboys, so I'm good. Like I don't care. Whatever. We bludgeoning them. I hate the Cowboys too.
Are you covering CeeDee Lamb in the slot? Are you covering CeeDee Lamb in the slot? Running all over the place?
We'll be all right. We'll be all right. We got something for CeeDee Lamb.
I'm starting Brandon Cooks in my fantasy league.
Yeah.
I will start CeeDee Lamb too. He'll get the ball.
Brandon Cooks too, eh?
To be honest, one-dimensional teams are not going to beat us. All right? So if they one-dimensional, if they want to throw all day, do your thing. But we're going to get home eventually. Okay, if you play action on us, then that's when we're in trouble. So those are teams that beat us. You know what I mean? The Bears, the Ravens, those teams that was able to run the quarterback around everywhere and had that. That's not Dak anymore. Dak isn't that quarterback no more. All right, you're not gonna sit in the pocket and beat us. No. Look at our losses. Look who we lost to. Look at our losses, and then tell me why the Cowboys is 6 points. All right, you'll see.
I think a lot of these things are nationally, narratives driven, and it just, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Lions this week. I think it's gonna be something like a 35-28, 35-31, game. And I do think the Lions. Sorry, you're picking the Lions then, 7th letter?
I'm picking the Lions like 41-38.
You sure it's not going to be like a letdown? Like, okay, we won the division, we can take the foot off the gas.
No, because everybody's saying they're going to beat us. We almost beat them last year. Amon-Ra didn't play. He got hurt like the second possession. He didn't play, and we almost beat him. We went to the fourth quarter. Beginning of the fourth quarter, Jamal Williams fumbles at the goal line, and then shit got ugly, of course, because we just, we had Tom Kennedy at wide receiver. We don't have that no more. Our whole wide receiver room is different. We got weapons. We could threaten them on the perimeter, in the middle. We could run the ball. I don't know what everybody else is saying. I truly don't. And this is now we done got hot. We're hot now. Oh,
when the Cowboys win this game, Dak will be right back in the MVP talks.
Man, we're gonna beat the shit out the Cowboys. Mark that.
When he puts up 500 yards and 4 touchdowns, they're gonna. It's gonna be a nice 35-24 victory.
Mark it.
So wait, Craig. So you're picking who?
I'm picking the boys, and I'm picking them to cover.
Oh, the boys again. Okay.
Yeah,
they just went up. Look what the Bills did to him.
I don't think you can cover their receivers.
Look what the Bills did.
Look what Nick Mullins did. If he didn't throw 4 picks, but like he put up 400 yards on that defense. I mean,
it was all. If you look at his plays, bro, look at his plays. They were all chunk plays deep. And then once they took over at the end, the last 2 drives, it was the beginning of the third quarter, and then like the end of the drive on the fourth quarter. It was like to all his yards came from 3 drives. Like it was all right. He did all right.
Well, it's because you guys injured all of our other wide receivers. Addison went down.
Right.
Went down.
Well, I'm sorry what happened to Hawkinson, man. I don't like.
I mean, that's
Kirby always go. Kirby kind of light in the ass. He always goes low. It was unfortunate. I'm not.
What's the only way
trying to hurt him.
He can't tackle a big guy like that otherwise. Like especially the way the rules are, You can't hit him high, so then you got to hit him either in the like, you're basically either hitting him in the this midsection basically, or you had to take out his legs, and of course
right,
you're gonna
right. So
otherwise he's gonna bounce off him and he's running down the field. So
speaking of bouncing off,
him.
speaking of bouncing off here and all that, we have a Dave sighting.
Hey.
They lost a little dick bullets.
They should have, but Mullins did what Mullins does, and he just threw a duck at the end to lose it.
I think we knew that. I think we had to protect the listen. I think like we honestly could have if we'd have fell on.
There was like 3 receivers open on the play.
Yeah, but how he get down there? He got down there with the best wide receiver in the world. I'm not throwing it. Honestly, I like it. He just threw a poor pass.
No,
he did. Nobody else wants to get the ball. Addison's hurt. I know you don't like Osborne.
He's so terrible. He's so terrible.
I thought
he probably dropped the pass. He had a couple good plays, but man, he's so many drops this year, so many fumbles. Like he's terrible. He lost time. He should be wide receiver like 5 on this team when everybody's healthy, but he's somehow still hanging on to that 3 spot.
I mean, he's all right. He caught a bomb on us. So.
Yeah, I mean, he that's the problem. Like he's fast enough to get out and to get open, especially as a second or third option, and not getting that much attention. He's fine doing that, but man, he tries. His hands are terrible. He fumbles. I mean, he's just not. I can't stand him. He was kind of a fan favorite for a little bit, especially heading into this year. Everybody thought he was going to have a big year, and I'm kind of so glad to see he's starting to move down and play less until Addison went down. But yeah.
Well, speaking of a player and a team that is one of your favorites, Craig. So the path to the Bears clipping the Falcons' wings at Soldier Field.
God, this is a terrible quarterback matchup. Holy crap!
It sure is.
This is so bad. There might be
Let it
like
all
10
out.
passes by total between both teams. I mean, they should just run the ball.
I think
Heineke's a
Heineke's
1940s style football game.
Is Heineke playing?
Heineke's, he's playing the rest of the year. He'll sling it around too. He's the same kind of thing like Mullins. He'll throw it around and also
he holds the ball forever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's not afraid to sack fumble it either. Yeah. But I mean,
let it all out. Just let it all out.
It's gonna be so bad to watch it. Who even wants to watch a game like that? It's 2 terrible teams.
Justin
terrible
Fields
quarterbacks. I mean,
he's box office. He's box office. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, he's probably gonna. He can run for 200 yards and throw for 400, or he can also have
playmaker. The one thing, yes, I
or
agree.
just have like 100 yards of passing because he just somehow can't pass it today. Like that's like half his game. Like half his games are like 120 yards passing and 10 for 20, and just like terrible quarterback play.
Well, terrible offensive coordinator play.
That's always
the one thing. So it looks like Atlanta is tough against receivers.
Yes, they are. They play good pass
defense is good. Really good.
So I am a little bit worried about that. The Bears are a 3-point favorite, which worries me. It's a team we think we should beat, and that worries me a little bit. It being at home, I like that, and that's probably why we're favorites. I think Justin Fields, is able to get a little bit more comfortable at home. I think that'll help. If they run the ball all year, if they've run the ball and they just control the clock, that is when they have been successful. Start that early, build a lead, don't put the foot off the gas, keep it going. Try some different plays. They keep trying these screens. Like this is like that's all that Getsy is known for. Like that's all he's putting on tape. Let's just throw a screen. 4th down. Oh, let's throw a screen. Hey, the one thing, another thing I worry about as well.
Don't let Fields screw it up. Just throw a little screen.
Komet has been hurt, so I'm not sure if he's going to be back or not. I worry about that because he. What's that? Oh my gosh. So they do need to get DJ Moore a little bit more in the game as well. But really, running the ball with Roshan. Give it to Roshan. Don't take the foot off the gas.
Herbert played well last week. Herbert had 100 yards.
Yeah,
he did. Yes. So, I mean, but you mix it in with Roshan. I think it was because Dante Foreman was hurt and out. But, I like this running back by committee. Fantasy wise, it sucks, right? But I think it's better, just to continue to have fresh legs. And so that's the game plan. And then obviously with the defense, you just need to continue, Montez Sweat, I think, can, sack,
I mean, he was a great
Heineke. So that has been a heck of a pickup. Here we go. Bears Media. Cole has to show up for this one.
Cole Kmet. Yeah.
Cole Kmet, he does. Bears by 14. Okay.
They might not score 14 points against that Falcons defense. Jesse Bates is a great he's a really good safety. I mean, I think he's that secondary is good. The pass rush for the Falcons is pretty good. That defense is very underrated for the Falcons. They'd have much better stats if their offense wasn't so putrid for most of the year.
This is true.
I mean, they perform despite having no help from the other side.
Craig, I just have one question for you. Are you coming on next week?
I hope so. I think so.
Okay. Because I'm really curious to see who you're going to pick between the Bears and the Packers next week.
That's a good question. I'll see how I feel. I'll see how Jordan Love plays here, and
I have a feeling your
quarterback play might be my game too.
I have a feeling you're not going to pick my guy Fields. They
disappointed me. I picked them to win the opening game, and they didn't. So I picked them to lose every other week, I think.
So you're not picking the Bears, Craig?
No, actually, I think the Falcons are going to go in there. They played well this week. I think Heineke is good enough if he plays well to win that game. I just don't think Fields is going to do anything on that defense for the Falcons. I think they're going to be able to shut it down. I think it's going to be something like 20-14 for the Falcons.
I can see that. Okay, I can understand. Yeah. And what about you, seventh letter?
I'm gonna go with the Bears. I think just the Falcons, although they are good against the pass, they're on the field so much. You kind of always see like little runs break on them late in the game. Now, this isn't you guys' strong point late in games. Like, you guys always kind of find a way, but I think the defense can kind of bother the Falcons offense a little bit. Your corners are good. You got a good defense.
And they're young. Yes, they're really starting to set
young guys out there. They cover well. You can see them even baiting people at times. I think they'll be able to bait Heineke a few times and maybe get some scores on defense and might pull this out.
So, yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Kyle Pitts, like, he's got all this talent. That's the tight end is what I worry about, him having a big game. And obviously the Bears have been good against the run, but, Arthur Smith, he has to know he's playing for coaching for his job.
He's fired, bro.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's gone.
Done. I just don't. I mean, then so he should give Bijan Robinson, just give him as many carries as possible.
Yeah, he's done.
They've kind of misused him a lot. It seems like they can't seem to get a good rhythm with him. He'll have a good game and then have a couple bad ones and have a great game, and then it's very consistent with their run game. Yeah. But I mean, they have that talent to have it where they can kind of control that game and really make it a fast-moving, quick game.
I do think. Sorry, seventh letter, you were to say something?
Nah, it's just tough. It's kind of hard to gauge. I just think maybe since you guys been taking the ball a lot lately, I think that's going to be because they'll give it to you. Trust me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably going to be a couple interceptable balls thrown up. That's for sure.
Right. The Falcons will give you the ball back. So I think that's good field position. A couple short fields. You can get your field goal kicker is great. You just extended him. So I think that'll be the difference. They don't. The Falcons don't get picks. I mean, other than Bates, they don't pick the ball up. They cover well, but they don't get picks other than Bates.
No, yeah, they're more looking for a 3 and out.
Right.
So what you're saying is Justin Fields is not going to throw interceptions this week, and his legs and arm are going to continue to get first downs, and the Bears are going to win 27-13.
Not his arm, his legs.
He has a cannon.
He does have a strong arm, but so does a lot of people who can't throw.
There's Jeff George. I mean,
that don't really matter. Is he accurate? No, not very much. He misses a lot.
Who else misses a lot?
Who?
Jared Goff.
Nah, man, 67%, man.
I was gonna say Jordan Love, but I didn't know what. I thought we were going to the next game. I was like Jordan Love.
Yeah, Jared Goff completion percentage.
All of the Vikings quarterbacks.
Yes, 67%. He's 5th in completion percentage.
What was he against the Bears?
I think he was 60%.
Kryptonite. The Bears. Oh, the Bears are Jared Goff's kryptonite. Love it.
No. That was like, you know what happened? You guys played. Y'all had just got Sweat the first time. You guys played totally different with Sweat. Like the defense played different. And then
we played good defensively. Yeah.
When we played y'all again in Chicago, it wasn't advantageous for a passing game. Like, did Justin Fields have 200 yards passing?
Did the Bears win?
So.
The Bears win the second game?
They won. Yeah.
I'll take that.
They beat the Vikings with 0 touchdowns too. I mean, it's not like he played well, but
clutch when he needed to. Well, speaking of, clutch, always when you look at, we're going to have 2024 coming and we have to look at some resolutions. I'm not personally one who usually does resolutions, but, we've kind of talked about this week coming up, but let's just do a few of our team's resolutions for the year. I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Craig, with the Vikings here. Some of your 2024 resolutions, go ahead.
Yeah, I think locking up the future is kind of what I put down there. Like you start off extending Justin Jefferson, you try to get Kirk Cousins back, you try to get Danielle Hunter to come back. You're probably drafting a quarterback no matter what happens with Cousins. I think you really want him to stay 2 more years to help develop the new quarterback, whoever that is. Even if it is Jaron Hall and he plays awesome and you're like, yeah, I want to bring him back too. But, I think you're going young there and you have to keep Brian Flores if you can. I don't think there seems to be a presumption from a lot of Vikings fans on Twitter, like, oh, he's just gonna be gone. He's gone. Like they've been counting him gone for like 8 weeks now, and I'm like, are you sure? Like, no, there's not that many head coaching jobs. I mean, think of how many times Eric Bieniemy has been considered gone, and it seems like 10 years of him being gone, and then he finally had to leave to go to Washington to take an OC job to call plays. But like, I mean, everybody thinks their coordinators are gone when they do a good job, and it's like there's only so many jobs. There's plenty of good coordinators out there. There's plenty of great teams out there. It's a 7-8 team. It's not like we're killing it. And the last few weeks, the defense hasn't been killing it. So I think you try to lock it up, bring it back. You can do if you have Kirk Cousins with a top 10 defense. If you can bring back Flores, you don't know. I mean, I think they'd be a contender, and I think that this season will be much different if Kirk didn't go down. But I think you can try to bring that back and run it back, or you just scrap everything. You let Danielle Hunter go, and maybe you trade. I mean, are you keeping Justin Jefferson in that scenario? Or are you really rebuilding and going after like a Caleb Williams and trying to get the top pick? But I doubt they go that way. I think they're going to try to bring everybody back and see what they can do. But I think that's the first thing you need to do is lock up those contracts. And it's not about bringing guys in at this point. It's trying to bring back the guys that you have, and you can't lose this core group of guys if you have a realistic chance of coming back next year.
And you're all in on KOC, right?
Oh yeah, I think he's a really good coach.
No, he's a real good coach.
He has some flaws. Like I think there's some game management issues. I think sometimes his play calling gets kind of weird in certain games, but he's learned from a lot of those mistakes too. He's been less predictable, less of those weird screens we were doing too, where it seemed like we were doing a Hawkinson screen like twice a drive for a long time. We've stopped doing that, so he's kind of learning from his mistakes and game management. So I love him. I think he's a good coach. I think I expected more creativity from the offense at times, and it seems like we can't quite figure that out. Every time we run a creative play, it just blows up in our face.
You got your quarterback, man.
I mean that at this point, that's why we're not doing anything. We're just base offense. So just throw it up to JJ, and then that's all you need to do. But,
right.
I'm really excited to see what Hall can do. I'm curious to see what that's like. If he could have some potential to maybe stick him behind Cousins for a couple of years, and he comes out like Jordan Love. Who knows? But not that I love Jordan Love, but yeah, I mean, I think you lock up those guys and bring them back and see what you can do.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential there for Minnesota. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm going to, obviously we don't have a Packer person here, but I have a few, I think adjustments, news resolutions for the Packers. I'm guessing number one, this is all I hear, fire Joe Barry. They wanted him fired on Christmas. I mean, they're Philadelphia Eagle fans or what? Fire him on Christmas. I think they need to add another running back. I believe they've got the Cavs guy. I can't even think of his name right now. Is going to be gone. And I think add to the off. Dillon, I think AJ Dillon is gone. Add to the offensive line, I believe. Any Packer fans listening could definitely comment. What are your thoughts on the Packers, what they need to add in 2023? Or 2024, sorry.
Probably a new defensive coordinator. I think they got enough personnel-wise to be successful out there, period. I don't understand why they let that happen last week or the week before that. He played like he had that, coach like his ass is fire on his ass against us on Thanksgiving. And then right after that, it was just, then they beat the Chiefs, honestly, I just want to also just hark upon one more thing, I know people were saying stuff about us beating the Chiefs. They didn't have Kelsey or Jones, but you don't think we would have beat them even with them? Like, look at them. Like they losing the same way they lost to us. So same shit. We would have beat them anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, they need O-line. Definitely need O-line help. Aaron Jones, I think Father Time is starting to take his toll. He's getting hurt every year.
Yeah.
He's talented for sure.
Right. Super talented. He should go to – he would be dangerous on like a Chiefs team or even like the Chargers, even if they let go of Eckler. You know what I mean? If the Chargers – like he can go somewhere else.
Eckler is a free agent, I believe. So
Right.
Yeah.
So, they ain't gonna pay no more running backs. They can get Aaron Jones for the cheap over there for the Chargers. So they probably got to draft some running backs. The Packers are pretty good with picking offense. They'll turn a thick wide receiver into a running back on your ass in a minute. So like they just this year is just a young team. They're learning how to win. They'll be much better next year because they got the material to win. They just probably don't have that thing to take. They don't have that Aaron Rodgers mystique to take them over the edge to make them like that team that they once were, but they can be a playoff team for sure.
I feel like their whole offense is like a lot of guys that are good but not great. Like you have the receivers, like they have a couple like Wicks is pretty good, Christian Watson, he's pretty good, and Dobbs is pretty good, but they're not like none of those guys are wide receiver one, and like that's the guy.
Right.
And I think that's their problem too. Like they don't have that. They don't have a bell cow running back because Aaron Jones just keeps on getting hurt. He can't handle it anymore.
Right.
You have like no wide receiver one. Your quarterback's just like a average quarterback. Like you just have a bunch of guys that are just guys that are. I mean, they're decent, but they're not. They're mid-level guys. Like it's like, where's their talent? Where's that guy? You're like, he's the guy I'm gonna go to at the end of the game.
I think it's Watson, but he just can't stay healthy. Like Watson.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like they have guys that are pretty good that can't stay healthy. Like I mean, Aaron Jones is a great running back if he's healthy, but he's not.
I don't know, like
any running back. I mean,
I feel like they developed Adams, and I think like in my dynasty league, I picked up Wicks. I think he could be that number one guy. And I think, unfortunately, from a Bears fan perspective, the Packers have done this. They develop players, and this is why I don't understand some of the Packer fans now. Like some of them are getting so mad and so upset. But they've done a lot with the young team, and I haven't wanted to admit it. Obviously, that Jordan Love, he's shown enough that he can continue to do well.
Show more Fields, that's for sure.
I figured you'd say that. We've missed you, Craig. But so they've got a lot of talent there. I mean, they are a very young team, but yeah, I mean, the fans are like going off on their coaches, saying this and that. So but when you look at LaFleur, he's really done. He is, and he's really gotten a lot of Packer fans aren't happy with him, mainly because he's stuck by Joe Barry. And that's the thing. I thought you have to stay with the coordinator, like at least to the end of the season. I don't know. So he'll probably be gone. The Packers have enough there on defense. They should have it. Now it would be interesting. Obviously Jair Alexander, that's kind of becoming a headache for them.
I don't think there's any coming back from when you suspend a guy just because like, when he acts like a jackass on the field and you're like, I'm just going to suspend you. I think that means you just have to get rid of him at this point. Like, I don't know how you salvage that relationship.
That's a great point. He's talented. I mean, but he's kind of become full of himself, though, right?
Man, he's a diva. His press conference after the game was just like he's clueless. Like, he thought what he did nothing wrong. Just like, no, that's what I should have done. I'm from here, so I'm going to be a captain. And it's like, well, no, that's not how it works. You don't just get to make yourself. Then he screws. He's weird. And then they have that linebacker from UGA that got in trouble last year for pushing one of the trainers. I forget his name. He's the same kind of way where it's like he can't mentally get out of his own way.
Walker.
I'm blanking on his name. Yeah. He's just like he's talented, like talent out the ass, but like he just can't get out of his own way. Like it's just
big and fast.
Like Jair Alexander's the same way. They say like that's there's some talent on that defense, but they seem to mentally not be there for whatever reason.
Hey, Craig, Roasty says the Vikings get themselves a QB. Watch out, Penix would fit in really well.
I really like Michael Penix Jr. I would love to see him with Kirk Cousins and let's sit for a year or two and then see what he can do. That would be my ideal situation. If somebody you don't have to move up for, somebody you can, you're not going to trade away the future for, but you just spend a pick on him and develop and I mean that would be great.
Yeah, I thought the Vikings. I think when that little Josh Dobbs thing was happening for a little bit, man, the Vikings, if they had a mobile quarterback, that would be dangerous. Would be dangerous.
And I really love Shedeur Sanders. I know he's probably not coming out this year, it sounds like, but man, I think he would be a great fit for that kind of.
Who's that?
Shedeur Sanders. Like I really like the way his style too. I think would fit well with with the team as well. I like Penix. I think there's a lot of
Shedeur Sanders is kind of like a Fields.
Yeah, but he's more talented. But it's
I don't know if he's more talented. I think
it's definitely has more swag, a little bit more
talented. He's very talented, but he just he just had that bad, like, you know how it is, man. When you go to a bad team and they don't develop you,
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Like, no quarterback would have succeeded with what the Bears.
No,
I agree. I totally agree. Roasty also says Lions get a boundary cornerback that doesn't suck, get a pass rusher opposite of AH, and figure out the direction on offense post Ben Johnson. Oh, he's already saying post Ben Johnson.
Everybody thinks the coordinators are gone.
Is he? He's going to be gone.
He's gone. Yeah, he out.
Yeah, there's probably going to be about. It's probably going to be who is.
Get him out of here. I'm good on Ben Johnson. I'm tired of him.
Probably about
it's a lot of stuff,
openings,
yo.
So
he gets cute too much. You know what I mean? We are as the O-line goes, we go. And whenever we run the ball, we win.
I was so happy with the ball on Sunday. That was like the greatest thing in the world. Like, thank you.
For real.
Like, end of the game, they just run the ball out and they just refuse to do it.
Yes.
So, Detroit Lions, there is one resolution, and even as a Bears fan, I think I can root for this. And
this is my resolution because we're going to the Super Bowl. So, what I like to do is win. I would like the number one, at least the number 2 seed. Okay, and we can have 2 home games and get into the NFC Championship, and let's see what happens. You know what I mean? So let's win a playoff game. Let's Ben Johnson pound the rock. It's the playoffs. It's January. Run the ball. Those teams always do well in the playoffs. We can pass anytime we want to if we run the ball. We play that play action game. Get Jameson Williams involved. Let's then we can pass. We can use all those weapons we have. Let's use them correctly. Let's stop the cute shit behind the line of scrimmage. Let's get the play off before the clock run out. You know what I mean? Let's do that. Simple shit like that. Get the play. Tell them to play and remain aggressive on defense. Let's not sit back and watch because we don't have that kind of defense. If Melifonwu is coming along, it's because we're using him he's a bullet. That's it. He's not a read and react. Tell him what to do. Go get the quarterback this play. All right. That's it. Watch Justin Jefferson this play. Do that. Yep. Like that's what he does. And he's doing it at a very high level. He's looking like, who the fuck is this guy? Who's number 6? Because he's flashing. He's getting there. We had to sit Tracy Walker for him, and we got more speed out there, and we look a lot better and a lot more aggressive. We can be aggressive with him on the field. and he has the athletic ability and speed to cover and do all those things that we need to do, but we can take more chances on defense. So let's be aggressive on defense. And I see you guys in where we going, Vegas?
Well, how crazy would that be? So the draft is in Detroit, and how crazy would that be 2 years in a row to have the Super Bowl champion host the draft?
That would be great, man. That would be.
I'd put the Lions like 8th on the list for winning the Super Bowl.
So,
this year, so
eighth. Is 8 teams better than us?
Let me try to do this.
Dolphins,
the Chiefs, the Dolphins.
The Chiefs ain't better than us. We beat them.
That was beginning of the year, right?
Playoff Patrick Mahomes. I'm taking that all day.
We lost.
The Dolphins definitely. I mean, you got the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Eagles.
We got to beat the Cowboys Saturday.
We'll lose to them by like 10 points on Saturday.
Come back next week.
Seventh letter. If the Lions win the Super Bowl, who are you going to make out with? Would you make out with Jared Goff?
I'm coming for Dan Campbell. Come here, big fella.
Yeah,
I love him, yo. I love Dan Campbell, man.
I do. He's
I
great.
love everything about him, yo. Everything about him.
I didn't realize Keegan Michael Key is a Lions fan as well. He was amazing. The NFL honors he did a couple years ago, but he's a huge Lions fan.
Bro, I had a patient that had. I'm in New Jersey, as you know, and I had a patient at a rub, and he's in a rub. He cursing, he going crazy. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in there? I work Sundays sometimes.
Yeah,
I go to the room. He said, "It's fucking Jared Goff." I said, "What happened?" He was a Lions fan, man. Like we scattered all over the place, man.
Yeah.
The guy from Dumb and Dumber, he's a Lions fan.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Jeff. What's his last name? Yeah.
I don't know, but that's my boy. He's a Lions fan. There's a couple Lions fans out here, man. I was looking at Martin on TV today, man, and he gave Gina a Lions hug. I said, "Look at that. We all over the place, boy."
Well, speaking of a team that's been all over the place this year, I had a lot of hopes beginning of the year. Then they kind of dashed, and now they're starting to come back a little bit. We have an opportunity to ruin the Packers season, week 18. My New Year's resolution for right at the beginning of January is for the Bears to beat the Packers. Really, I want the Bears to beat the Falcons this week. Absolutely. But this game, week 18, that's really all I care about. I don't want to hear the Packers in my ear all off season owning crap. I'm tired of it. Beat the Packers week 18 or get out of Chicago. Seriously, dude. And that
fire everybody.
And so obviously I think they were saying, obviously going back and forth, what would Fields have to do to continue on? If he beats the Packers in week 18, I think that is probably one of the surest paths for him to be the quarterback next year of the Bears. And it's so weird to put so much on one game, but I am tired of it. I'm tired of it, right?
In this division, you got to beat them. You got to beat the green team.
Got to beat the Packers.
In this division, that's what brought us into this season. Beat them at the end of the year. Like it was the passing of the torch. Like you had to. Like I didn't pay too much attention to it. But when it happened, it was like we never beat them here, and we beat them, and we kept them out the playoffs. Fuck them.
Exactly.
Like that's what you want to do.
Yes.
That's what I want.
Don't let them get in there. Man.
And there is a small chance that the Bears could sneak into the playoffs.
1%. Still a 1% chance if they make it to the playoffs.
I'm taking it.
Man, there's some easy games for the Seahawks and Rams coming up too, or like this week at least.
Yeah.
That's gonna eliminate them, but yeah.
So number 2 is decide on a quarterback and go with it 100%, whether it is Justin Fields or not. And going with it 100% means getting rid of this coaching staff. You have to find someone who is going to cater to Fields' strengths and all of that. So I think Getsy's pretty much gone. We'll see about Eberflus. The last couple of games have a lot to say about that as well.
You want to keep him?
As a defensive coordinator, yes. I mean,
he won't stay.
Yeah. And so no, I don't think so. It's just I think you can find another defensive coordinator to do some of the things because really it's Montez Sweat. I think he is really talented. That's really helped. You got some younger players. So I think the new coaching staff overall And number 4 is draft smart. When you look at the 2023 draft, you look at all these pieces, Jervon Dexter, all these pieces have really started to really produce on the field. Tyreek Stevenson, I liked him at the draft. So the Bears really did well in the 2023 draft, and you've got some players who are really starting to ascend and started to do well. Continue to draft smart, and that also may mean trading back. Like, obviously you've got that probably the number 1 pick, trade back a little bit, whether it's Marvin Harrison or whatever, but you need to continue to get, pieces to kind of build around offensively and defensively, need a lineman, but really to continue to build. And that's what I'm looking for the Bears in 2024.
Poor guy. I would not want to see Eberflus's face again. He's just not a leader of men.
No, he's not.
I hope they bring him back. I mean, I do too. But
I tell you what, though, I would rather be in the Bears' shoes than the Vikings' shoes.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of money.
A lot of money.
A lot of draft picks.
The Vikings actually have a decent amount of money.
It's spoken for already, kind of.
Well, yeah, if they bring back everybody, that's the thing. Yeah. If you're signing JJ, Danielle Hunter, and Kirk Cousins, yeah, it's all gone.
Right.
And then it's but you don't really need to bring in a big free agent. That's why I don't think the money is an issue if they bring everybody back. Then it's either going to have a ton of cap space and you're letting everybody go, or you're spending all your money. But I can go either way. But
how you feel about the way y'all draft?
It's weird. So I felt like this draft was better than the first one, but it doesn't seem like we could pick a cornerback to save our lives. Our DBs just we can't get a decent cornerback to save ourselves. Byron Murphy Jr. is a free agent, ended up being very good this year. I mean, he's hurt right now, missed the last week, but I don't love our drafts. I don't think any of them have been great. We haven't had a really good draft in a long time.
Yeah. I look at y'all team like, damn, no, none of these motherfuckers play.
No, yeah, it's bad. Like Lewis, everybody's the fan favorite online is Kyle Hamilton, the safety for Ravens, who just got a couple picks and scored it.
It's in the wrong purple.
Awesome, and we could have had him instead. We trade back and get Lewis Seen, who's been injured. He they completely destroyed his leg last year and hasn't done anything. Not really his fault because he got injured so damn early. But then it's you just none of these draft picks are man, that's the one. Addison, I think is a good pick. That was a good pick.
Yeah.
But man, a lot of these guys aren't good. It's the offensive tackle Ingram, or offensive guard Ingram. He's not the guy. The offensive line has been much better this year. I mean, you have but a lot of those guys that are really good, really young, are the guys that Rick Spielman picks. It's 3 drafts ago. That was really good.
Craig,
that was really good.
Craig, you shouldn't have let Poles out of the building. Should have signed him.
I'm so glad we don't have Poles. He's the worst.
Pretty good 2023 draft.
The draft isn't everything either. But I mean that
is something.
I did like some of the defensive ends they brought in. At the beginning of the year, I thought they would be good. They didn't really do much. But yeah, I mean, I'm on the fence with Kwesi. I like KC, but I don't like Kwesi. I think he's trying to figure it out. You could tell he's kind of inexperienced, doesn't really have a great grasp on what he's doing. But I think another year, another draft, we'll see what happens. I mean, he's going to be defined in what he does at the quarterback position. That's going to be his main job, and that was the job when he was hired. He's done nothing with Kirk so far to extend him, so he's kind of made his own bed to say, well, now Kirk's a free agent. We can't franchise tag him. So, I mean, you're just hoping he wants to come back. Now he's injured. You want him back. It's a big mess.
Yeah, this is your out, though, man. He's hurt. He's old.
That's what this. If you ever want an out, this is your out.
This is it.
Yeah, I think there's a decent chance they trade up for a top 5 pick and get a quarterback and say whatever and move on from Kirk and everybody. And then Danielle Hunter. But I think it's going to be hard. It's really up to Justin Jefferson. That's his main goal right now. I think it's to please him, what he wants to do, talk to him, extend him, And then if he wants Kirk, then go with Kirk. If he wants a young guy, go with a young guy.
Also, one more question. What's up with the Vikings fans? Why are they so mean? You know,
Oh, there's
like, yo, man, Hawkinson. All right, y'all
no.
go
They
take
turn on
Hawkinson.
the Lions real quick.
I hope Justin. I
Yeah,
hope Hutchinson snatches
we're a
Achilles
bunch of
this
salty
week.
SOBs
Like,
up
God
there. It's
damn,
really
like,
yeah. Sometimes it is crazy, like how angry we irrationally angry we get at anybody's happiness.
yeah.
Like I feel happy the Lions won because they you know you guys have
Mhm.
just stunk for 30 years. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
you deserved it. But like some of these guys, I guess just like they hate all the Lions fans now because they have their fun and they're having fun with their victory and like, oh, NFC North champs. I'm like, yeah, I would be too. Like it's
Mhm.
one in 30
Absolutely.
years. Of course, you should
30
be happy about it.
years, 93.
Absolutely.
I was
Yes.
in high school on the couch crying when Brett Favre was found Sterling Sharp down the right side wide open our last home game. I remember that.
Yeah. So it's we are it's a very angry. I think it's just a frustrated fan base. It's a frustrated fan base, is what it is. Because you see how good the team could have been with Kirk if he was healthier. It's just like you can't quite get all the pieces together. The Vikings. That's what the Vikings have been for 30 years too. Like they get good enough, but they can't quite get what they need together. It's like they get there and they can't quite finish it. You get there against the Eagles and they smoke your ass. You get there, you know, it's
15-1. You get there and you can't kick field goals after.
Yeah, exactly. You missed the field goal, and the guy hasn't missed the field goal in 2 freaking years.
Right.
It's like everything that can go wrong, and then you have the greatest offense in the history of the NFL at that point, and you kneel the ball down with a minute and a half left in the game because you're an idiot. Like it's everything about that game sucks. Then you have the Brett Favre game where the Saints just beat the fuck out of them, and then you have
Brett Favre was
you have the Nick Foles game where he just smokes you, and it's like these things where you get close, and so it's a lot of frustration and pent up anger from the Vikings fans.
I get it.
We're actually good enough to be there, but then you screw it up somehow all the time.
Yeah.
Well, you guys never screw this up, and I definitely appreciate both of you guys being on this week, and hopefully we'll get a Packer fan on next week in the new year. Definitely appreciate you guys both. So, Craig, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, I'm at dailynorseman.com and on Twitter at GA_Skol.
Absolutely. Everyone can find me at NFLOutdated on Twitter X, on YouTube, and hopefully we're chasing next year. We're chasing those NFC North champs.
Going for that third spot next year.
We're going to get third North eventually, and we're never going to get you back. But for now,
you might get third this year. Who knows?
Hey, maybe. Seventh letter. Where can everyone find you?
7th letter 4 on X Twitter. Same OG on Instagram and Facebook. And the new NFC North champion, Detroit Lions, on top of the NFC North. That's what you can find me, brothers. It's
about damn time.
You know what I mean? I'm happy. I'm happy, man.
Once again, this has been the Freezin 4 NFC North Podcast, episode 773. Like and subscribe, and we will see you guys next week. And hopefully we'll have some good news from our teams. And obviously, enjoy the week. Thanks again, guys.
All right.
Cool.
Be safe, fellas.